Hey YouTube, Yugioh Balls Deep here. This video is just a recap of the format we just had and to see what were the defining decks to see how it will affect our format we are in right now. To start off, we have to look back at September 2010 and the format before that, where we had a lot of strong decks such as Infernities, X-sabers, Frog FTK and Frog Monarchs, all of which were considered top tier or tier 1 type decks. But as the ban list came, Infernities lost Launcher, which slowed the deck down too much. X-sabers lost Rescue Cat, which meant easy 4-throw plays were rarer. Frog FTK and Frog Monarchs both lost Substitute, which killed the FTK and hurt the Monarch's flow. But as we entered the new format, and like all formats, it was Gladiator Beast that got everyone talking. The main reason for this is that the deck hasn't been touched ever since Bestiary was restricted to 1, so essentially the skeleton of the deck remains the same. However, this being said, it was X-sabers that dominated in the early game. With the cat out the picture, it made room for other cards such as X-saber Partial and another Bogart Knight to help give the deck the field presence it required to make the essential fulcral plays. The deck has a very good matchup against most decks and was able to tech in a few good cards such as Effect Veiler, Debris Dragon and Gauze to really make the deck stand alone. As the months went by, I don't know really why, but I guess people got bored and wanted to start playing a new deck, and that deck was Debris type decks. There were many different versions, such as Dandy Warrior, Volcanic Shell versions, Chaos, and regular plant synchros. The deck is able to utilize Dandelion and abuse the tokens by creating multiple synchros such as Black Rose, Scrap Dragon, and Stardust Dragon. On top of that, the plant engine really helps the deck fuel the graveyard so that you may play Pot of Avarice to gain more pluses. The main reason the deck became a top tier deck is when Starstrike Blast got released, the deck got 2 new cards to help it immensely, Glow Up Bulb and Formless Synchron. This deck ruled for the coming months, but that was until YCS Atlanta. One card that was overlooked in Starstrike Blast was Gravekeeper Recruiter. This card meant that Gravekeeper's deck were able to search through the deck for other members of the Gravekeeper family, but it was not just Recruiter that made the deck good. An old card called Royal Tribute, which discards all monsters from both players' hand, made the deck is what it is now. Running a low monster count and combining this with a lot of defensive cards meant that this was a tough deck to crack. The deck essentially killed Debrisheim type decks because of Necro Valley, unable to target the grave, which is a big part of what the deck does. Both Monarchs and X-sabers will also lose their Royal Tribute type play. It really looked like this deck was the defining deck of the format, but with 1 month left to go and a new pack on the horizon, Konami were able to throw in one more deck into the mix. And that deck was the True 6 Samurais from the Storm of Ragnarok pack. The Samurais were able to swarm the field with the help of Gateway and United, and synchro into a powerhouse monster known as Xian, with the ability to negate 1 spell or trap per turn, really put your opponent in a tough position. The deck was amazingly fast and consistent at doing this on the first turn, and like everyone thought, it won YCS Dallas. So YouTube, these are my opinions of the 4 decks of the format. I know I missed some, but please comment below and give me your thoughts on this video and your view of the format we just had. Please remember to subscribe, and I will have a trade binder video up soon, and also a video to show my view of what are the decks to look out for this format. Peace YouTube.